Hey everybody, welcome back to the Play It on Repeat channel, and welcome back to another Getting Into video. On this one, another one in our Friday slot where I bring Drew in and I force him to listen to my music and try to indoctrinate him into liking metal music. This one, we're going to be doing Megadeth. We're kind of going down my favorite bands of all time. Megadeth's kind of top three for me. They're a band that stems off of Metallica. The main singer and one of the guitarists of the band was in Metallica. He was kicked out of Metallica and went on to make Megadeth and become not quite on the same level as Metallica, but they are considered one of the big four of thrash metal. And, they're one of the greatest metal bands of all time. We're going to be watching Holy War's The Punishment Due. Drew, have you even heard of Megadeth?
I have heard the name. I have never listened to it, though.
Perfect. So this song is an amazing song, one of their greatest hits for sure. Let's hear it.
All right. Get into this thing. Here we go. They got the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That's a positive. I think you picked a particular video where they have a lot of the things that I rate very highly.
I very much did. I cherry picked through a handful of options today, and I was like, "This is the one."
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because it definitely has some stuff going on that I am a fan of. So.
Mm-hmm.
Are there lyrics?
I was wondering how long it was going to take you to ask that. Yes, there are lyrics.
Okay.
They just go on for quite a while before they get into them.
I'm assuming they didn't have a live one.
So I picked the official music video for Megadeth specifically because they don't have like any live CDs that I'm aware of that I've ever seen. And any footage we would have picked would have just been like crowd footage. And I don't think it would have done justice like with the sound quality. So I picked the music video for this one.
Got you. Yeah,
Quick question: how do you feel about Dave's voice?
It's not bad. It's a little more raspy, but I mean that's a rock thing. I don't mind it. It's probably not as good as the last two. However, I will say this: I can understand him a little better than the last one.
He does enunciate very well in this particular. Well, he does overall pretty well with enunciation. He the reason I ask is he is a very polarizing vocalist. A lot of people over the years have said that they should have hired an actual vocalist because he was originally a guitar player in Metallica. And I, for one, am somebody that really enjoys Dave's voice, but he's the most polarizing vocalist I've ever seen in my life. People either love him or they hate him, and there's really not much in between.
I love that I can understand him, but again, as far as like just quality of voice, I would say he is on the bottom tier of the two we have had prior to this.
Right.
But I can see why people love him, and I can also see why people hate him. It makes a lot of sense when you say that.
Definitely.
All right, let's check him out. So I've been trying not to pause it as much because again, I can understand him. So I'm trying to like listen to what the song is about.
Yes.
I love that I can understand him.
Mhm.
And I would say this is a band if you're trying to get into this, if you're in my shoes and you're trying to get more into some hard rock and roll, um, I actually like this because I can understand it. It's not over the top. They're not screaming at me.
Right.
But again, I back to your point earlier, his voice is not amazing.
Yeah.
But I do, man, I love that I can understand him. I could get if you're trying to get into metal, this is or hard rock. What is this? What is this genre technically called?
So Megadeth is thrash metal, so it's metal. It's a subgenre of metal. They would be classified the same as Metallica or Slayer or Anthrax, which I don't know if you would have heard of Anthrax. I think you've probably heard of Slayer.
I have.
So those four bands are considered the big four of thrash metal, like they're the Mount Rushmore of thrash metal. Put it that way.
Okay. Well, I mean, like Metallica, obviously, like people have heard Metallica. Like anybody's heard Metallica or heard of them. But if you're trying to go a little less mainstream, which again, I know you said this is a Mount Rushmore band here, but I mean, they're not as well known. I'll just be honest with you here. They're not as well known.
No metal band is as commercially successful as Metallica. Like,
Exactly.
there's no comparing.
But getting into it's a band that I could listen to. Like I would actually be interested in looking into some more of their songs because I can understand him. So I love
I can definitely. I don't know how we're going to structure these. I don't know if we're going to come back to bands or whatever, but I can send you a list of
that. Okay.
songs that I think you'd enjoy from this band.
All right. Well, let's finish them up. I love that. Yes. What exactly is that? Because I love that.
So that is my favorite guitar riff to play ever. And
Yeah.
like it is a simple chord progression into what's called natural harmonics, where you just lay your finger over the fret and play it like you would be playing a note, but it just plays like a choked out high pitched thing, and it is the most fun riff to play of all time. And nobody ever talks about that riff as being one of the greatest riffs of all time, but I love it.
I like it. It's cool. Like it sounds good. Just that it's. We'll get there at the end. I'll ask you about something.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Gotta be easy on that thing. Don't want to hurt it. My goodness, that was nice.
So that is Dave. He is the man that Kirk Hammett, the guy that had the solo in Creeping Death, the first song we did, he is who Kirk Hammett replaced.
Okay.
He was not kicked out for his playing ability, obviously. He was kicked out for his personality. He is among the best of all time. And his counterpart here in this video, Marty Friedman, is one of the most underrated guitar players of all time. His solos, I don't know if you've noticed, we've had 3 freaking solos in this song.
Yeah.
Marty took 2 of them. Dave took this last one. In this song, Marty's solos are a little pulled back, but in a song specifically, Tornado of Souls, that is one of the greatest guitar solos of all time, and it is Marty Friedman. And he is an amazing guitar player. He was classically trained, so he plays differently than a lot of guys do, and like pulls from different scales than a lot of guys do, which I know you don't necessarily know what that means, but he's just such a different player, and it's really refreshing to listen to Marty Friedman. So and Marty didn't stay in the band long term, like he wasn't in the band for a super long time. But Dave has always been really good at picking a complementary guitar player to him. So it's something he's always done well.
Yeah, that guy's good. That was nice right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. That wasn't bad at all. Very. It was a touch easier on the ears, if that makes any sense to you.
It does.
Yeah. I liked that song. It wasn't bad. It wasn't as fan. I wasn't as big of a fan as I was of the Metallica song, but again, Metallica.
Yeah.
naturally that's going to be my
I will
response.
say too, this we have to keep in mind this is a studio version of the song, so it's a lot more polished than the live versions that we listened to for the other two songs.
Yeah.
So stuff like you're not being able to hear the words of Iron Maiden in the last song. I feel like with that song, you definitely wouldn't have the same issue with a studio version as you did in that live version.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, like, if you just have 5 minutes to kill in the middle of a day, maybe pull up Fear of the Dark again and see how you feel about it. Studio version. But so this song, you'll notice it's titled Holy Wars ... The Punishment Due. It is kind of two songs mushed into one song. I don't know if you noticed the like kind of shift we had there about halfway through the song.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Holy Wars part is written about the civil war between Ireland and Northern Ireland.
Okay.
Was kind of like the inspiration of that part of the song. And then the Punishment Due part of the song, the second part of the song, is actually based on The Punisher, the comic book The Punisher.
Oh. Wow.
So that's kind of the story of The Punisher. They took my wife and my baby with hopes to enslave me, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was kind of pulled from The Punisher.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. A little background knowledge because I love that show, by the way. Great show. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it's a song about the Punisher. Okay.
Yeah.
But prior to that, the Northern Ireland and Ireland. Okay.
Yes. So it's a maybe that's another one of those bands. I'm really into these bands that will talk about subjects that a lot of people wouldn't normally talk about.
Yeah.
Like, Metallica talks about war all the time. Megadeth talks about war all the time. They talk about politics and all this stuff, and they, you know where they stand. I'll put it that way. And I'm more into somebody that's willing to put that out there than somebody that just hides behind, I'm going to write a catchy pop song that has 4 chords in it, and then we're going to make $100 million off of this song.
I agree completely. I am somebody who, like, if you have an opinion, say it. And if you don't say it, I won't respect you as much. So, like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You speak your mind and say it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the thing I like about Iron Maiden, they're not as much that way, but they have a lot of songs that are based on books or based on poems or based on, like, they tell stories through their songs, and it's really cool. Like, I don't know if y'all had to read Rime of the Ancient Mariner during school.
I don't recall it, no.
But they have a literally 14-minute song that is that book or short story. And I did not read the short story. I made a 100 on the test because I listened to that song like 100 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. So we got to get your ranking.
Yes. All right. Let me get the calculator pulled up. So our first category is attire and instruments. I see what you did here. You attacked me. You wanted a good rating for Megadeth. And because I know your tactics, and I know they're probably not exactly like this in every song, I will be reasonable with my response. This is of 10. I will go with a 9. But you handpicked this video because you knew what I like the dudes that get out there, look like dudes. They ain't got no shirt on. They got the long hair. They got the little star-looking guitars. They look like a rock band. And you did this on purpose, so I'm going to factor that in. I'm not going to give it a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9.
I will say those are those two guys' signature guitars, so they do hold those guitars and play those guitars constantly. And Dave, to this day, he's a 65-year-old man or whatever he is. He has the long red hair, and they are actually they've started putting out singles for their last album ever. They've announced this next album is their last album, and they're still rocking to this day.
At 65?
Yeah, let me not tell you a lie. Let me see how old Dave is.
Brother, at some point, this type of music, your vocal cords have got to be hating. Like,
sorry, he's 64. He's also had throat cancer.
Brother is taking him on the chin or the throat, might I add. and still getting after it. That's wow. That's impressive. Kudos to him. So yeah, I mean, I like them. I like their attire. I like their instruments. So I'll go 9 just because it was perfect. But I just can't expect it to be like that every time. But I mean, I will give them a 9. All right, the next category we got instrument playing. So I absolutely loved the way that the drummer's really getting into it. That's big for me as well.
Yes.
So it was nice to see. Buddy was standing up, holding it, and hitting it at one point. So like, dude was all in, and I loved that. Buddy was shredding on the guitar the entire song. I liked it. I will go. Let me go 7.5 here because I don't want to get too unrealistic, but I will go 7.5 because it's very good. The solos from Metallica were a touch better to me, but again, it's Metallica. So
on the point of the drummer, that drummer is Nick Menza is his name, and I just want to give him his flowers because he is one of the best drummers of all time. He's another guy that wasn't with Megadeth for their entire run or anything like that, but he is definitely the best drummer they ever had, and he is amazing. Megadeth is one of these bands that I'm sure you can tell by just me talking about them. They're kind of nowadays they're a solo project for Dave Mustaine, and he rotates in and out the instrumentalists around him. It's kind of how it works nowadays. Now, way back when in the 80s and 90s, they had more like a lineup that would stick for a while. But nowadays, if somebody gets 2 albums, it's kind of a lot.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, you see that happen so much. I feel like it's so common. All right, let's go lyrically here for our final category. And the lyrics is not just about the lyrics; it is also about how you present them to me.
Yes.
And so I do have to give them credit for this because again, I could understand them, so that really helped. And lyrics, I thought they were pretty good too. You giving me the background story for everything makes it even better. So let me. He wasn't the best. Back to your point from the beginning, he was not the best vocally, but I could understand him, and I like the lyrics, especially with the background story. So let's go with a solid 7 here.
Okay.
If he sounded a touch better, I would probably go a little bit higher than that. But a 7, I feel like a 7's fair. Which brings me to a 7.8's a very respectable rating for me.
That's a very good rating for, I believe, Creeping Death, if I remember right, it was like an 8.1 for you or something like that. So this is very neck and neck with that, and I'm very happy with that rating. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, better than our last, but not as good as Metallica, and I feel like that's how I should rate these two.
Yeah. I kind of pulled for Iron Maiden. I kind of pulled I'm not going to say a B tier song because it very much should be on like your top 10 from the band, but this one is kind of like either 1A or 1B for Megadeth. This is like one of the hits from the band.
Yeah, that makes sense. Again, I think my perspective might have changed a little bit from Iron Maiden if I had possibly heard like an in studio version, because I could probably understand it. Because I like the concept of Fear of the Dark. I thought that was a neat concept. But again, I couldn't understand him. I could understand this guy. So naturally, my ratings are going to be different.
That's completely understandable. Did you have anything else you wanted to say outside of that?
I had something, and you may know this off the top of your head. I don't know how familiar you are with it. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time. Are you familiar with the movie Friday Night Lights?
Yes, it's been a long time since I've watched
So
it.
when they run out of the tunnel before the state championship game, you wouldn't happen to know what song that is, would you?
I would have to look it up, to be honest with you.
I don't want to make a fool of myself and try to explain it to you. I don't want to do that. And we can't rip it because I don't want to get the video pulled down or anything like that. But we'll talk about it off air and maybe talk about it next week.
Okay. That is completely fine. Well, if that's all you had, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, check us out on the next video.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, Merry Christmas. It is Friday, the day after Christmas when this one goes out.
And a Happy New Year.
Yes, we do we do a video on this channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Drew is here every Friday. If you enjoy me and Drew together, we have another podcast called The Pilot Episode, where me, him, and another idiot talk about movies and TV shows. And I'll link that down in the comments below. You can check it out if you want to. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time.
See ya.